And here we... I've just spelled my title wrong. Some swing random. Yeah, very random. Got the... Missed out the E. Got a W in there. Something random. And here we go. Hello there, thanks for joining me. I'm AVstoryteller and this is Something Random. Thanks for joining me, and today I thought I would play some Darkest Dungeon. And let's start off with the intro cinematic because this is amazing.
Ruin has come to our family. You remember our venerable house? Opulent and imperial, gazing proudly from its stoic perch above the moor. I lived all my years in that ancient, rumor-shadowed manor, fattened by decadence and luxury. And yet I began to tire of conventional extravagance.
But her name's Sarah.
Unsettling tales suggested the mansion itself was a gateway to some fabulous and unnameable power. With relic and ritual, I bent every effort towards the excavation and recovery of those long-buried secrets, exhausting what remained of our family fortune on swarthy workmen and sturdy shovels. At last, in the salt-soaked crags beneath the lowest foundations, we unearthed that damnable portal of antediluvian evil.
Antediluvian. Great.
Our every step unsettled the ancient earth. But we were in a realm of death and madness. In the end, I alone fled laughing and wailing through those blackened arcades of antiquity, until consciousness failed me. You remember our venerable house, opulent and imperial. It is a festering abomination. I beg you, return home, claim your birthright, and deliver our family from the ravenous, clutching shadows of the Darkest Dungeon.
The Darkest Dungeon. Thank you very much for joining me for this one. Didn't announce this live stream. It's random. And I really hope you enjoy this. I'm just trying to check that all the audios are recording. I think they are. It's a bit difficult to check that the in-game audio is working because it stops as soon as I alt-tab out. But it looks okay. Stream health seems excellent. I love the Darkest Dungeon. It's very Cthulhu, very dark, very gothic, right up my street. And it's a game that I have a gift for. It's just a gift I haven't wrapped up and given to myself yet. I am so bad at this game. I am beyond bad. It's not even funny just how bad I am at this game. I'm not doing it from the very beginning. I'm not going to put you through this. We're in like week 21 of this game. The characters which I think are good are terrible. The skills which I think are terrible are good. The strategy I think you're supposed to have, you're not supposed to have, and vice versa. I really struggle with these missions and these fights. My first ever quest ended in utter defeat, where I had all my characters were being killed. I had no money, and I was literally throwing complete newbies from the stage core into quests because I couldn't keep the other characters alive. It is a brutally hard game. You really have to work hard to enjoy this.
Of this crusade. Its noble end affords you broad tolerance in your choice of means.
I'm going to rephrase that. It's brutally hard to be successful at this game. It's very easy to enjoy it. I love this game, even though I am so terrible at it. And it's a combination of that narrator, who is awesome. His voice is just incredible. The atmosphere of this game is fantastic. I love it. The characters, the way that they are drawn, the animation, the story behind the entire game, the creatures. It's fascinating and I love it. I'm just really bad at it. But the fact that it's so enjoyable in defeat, I think, is testament to how great a game this is. It's got a brutally hard learning curve, although people may disagree with me. And how long has Steam been saying I've been playing this game? Let me open up Steam and see if I can find out. Steam, hello Steam, my old friend. 69 hours I've been playing this. I have never been to the darkest dungeon. I think I might have defeated one mini boss. I'm so bad at this game. So if you're looking for hints and tips and tricks, please go elsewhere. If you want to watch me playing this for half an hour, and like listening to my voice, looking at my heart, it's a brilliant. This is going to be like maybe a great let's play of how not to do it. And if you ever catch yourself doing the stuff I'm doing, then you know you're doing it wrong. So with that like self-motivated encouragement out the way, one of the reasons why I decided to live stream this, because I spend so long checking and double checking and thinking and rethinking and going over every single detail meticulously and never actually playing the goddamn game. So I thought if I live stream it, maybe it'll encourage me to, you know, stick a rocket up me and get out and actually do some fighting. It's all going to end in tears, blood and gore and Cthulhu monsters, you know what I mean? So I'm not going to actually embark, but if you are at all remotely familiar with Darkest Dungeon and you know what this kind of screen looks like, you'd be looking at this going, why is this character so weakly armoured? Why is this character got so little skill? Why has he done that? Why has he selected those skills? Like, it's brutally hard. You have to just like, it's one of those games where you have to spend most of the time looking at other YouTube videos or guides about how to play the goddamn game. So I'm just gonna jump into it. It's a laugh. It's random. It's a one-off thing. Let's play something random. I thought about doing it all hounds. I don't know how to actually talk to you regarding this, whether to talk to you from a point of view that you know what Darkest Dungeon is, or to actually try to fill in the knowledge gap for people who have no idea what this game is. Okay, I suppose it would be bad of me to not explain exactly what I'm playing. So Darkest Dungeon is kind of like a role-playing game, strategy turn-based game where you have a group of 4 characters at a time that have to work their way through lots of mini dungeons, runes, warrens, weald, cove, to build up your character's experience to attack the Darkest Dungeon, which I've never been to. I've never got that far in my 69 hours. I just know because I've watched other people's guides that there's 4 levels apparently, and to complete the game you have to defeat the 4 levels of the Darkest Dungeon and then the game's complete. How hard can it be? Brutally hard is how it can be, by the way. It can be brutally hard. And so you have... This is where your venerable imperial and opulent manor house is, but you're actually in the hamlet down here, and the darkest dungeon is up there. So you get people, adventurers. I see. This is the kind of like the Warhammer element of it. This reminds me so much of Warhammer medieval role-playing game, which I loved and I played for years. So I guess that's one of the reasons why I love this game so much. On the stagecoach, you get fresh meat, or willing adventurers coming in, and they've all got certain kinds of skills. They've all got certain kind of stats and abilities. If you never played this game before, just look at the pretty pictures. Really, that's probably half my problem. So I choose the characters because of what the characters look like, how cool or flashy looking their moves are, and not actually paying attention to these numbers are boring. These stats numbers are boring. It's like, if it's got a cool sounding attack name, I'm on board. And this is where I'm gone horribly. I know exactly where my feelings are. It's like, yeah, that sounds cool. Let's use some of that. Some knowledge of playing these kind of Final Fantasy turn-based strategy games do come in. That kind of knowledge does help. Like when you're attacking the enemy, it's the mofos at the back that you want to kill first, because it's just the fat meat tanks that are there to get you to attack them, which are the people you shouldn't attack, because they're not the ones dealing the damage. They're just basically a brick wall between you and the casters and the medics at the back. Kill the casters and the medics. Thank you if you're a frontline worker at the moment, by the way. Thank you very much. Power to you. Hope you have time to relax and recover, because you're doing a fantastic job. And here I am playing computer games. I'm a bad person. So, you've got the archetypical kind of characters. You've got your knight in shining armor. Oh, by the way, just because he looks like he's a knight and he's wearing shining armor does not mean he's a tank. This is where I've been going wrong. Don't look at the nice pictures, look at the stats. And there's lots of different kind of characters. So you've got your vessels, which is like your clerics. Come on, clerics. Dungeons and Dragons, work here with me, people. They're the healers. Like it's fairly. You see some similarities. By the way, today's Jibber Jabber is brought to you by an old favourite, McCune's Champion, which is delicious. Houndsmaster. I love this guy. I've read a lot of guides, and yeah, he's a bomb yo. I love the Plague Doctor. Apparently, the Plague Doctor is a woman. How can you tell underneath the goggles and the mask? But yeah, that obviously is reminiscent of the Black Plague during in jolly old England, in jolly old London, where they used to thought that the Black Plague was transmitted through the air by bad smells, and so they used to have these huge cone noses, and they used to put potpourri and other sweet smelling herbs inside these beaks, because they thought that sweet smelling herb would protect them from the virus. There you go. Highwaymen, send and deliver your money or your life. Bounty hunter, not Boba Fett, but he's got the helmet. Arbalist, woman with a crossbow. Grave robber, another woman with a dagger and a very cool hat. That kind of reminiscent of that movie that's completely escaped my mind, Van Helsing. It's kind of got his hat. Man at Arms, which is apparently another great character, good for guarding and soaking up damage. Hellion, which I didn't think much of, but apparently it's a bomb yo. There you go. Cultist, which again I didn't think much of, but apparently the bomb yo. And that's the end of my roster at the moment. You can level up your hamlet to give you more spaces for more characters and actually make more people come in. So there's only 4 here, but you can level it up to have more people come in and increase the size of your barrack. And after a while, apparently you can have experienced recruits, so they don't come in completely zero, but level 1, 2, 3, whatever. Yeah, for a very long time I was more interested in other things other than weapons and armor. This is obviously where I've been going wrong. So you've got the blacksmith, where you can drag a character in and you can increase their weapons, increase their armor. But as you see in red, it says requires stuff. This stuff requires heirlooms, and heirlooms are busts, portraits, deeds and crests, of which I do not have enough. So this is why you go on missions, so you can get stuff, to buy stuff, to improve stuff. As well as the blacksmith, you've also got the guild, where you can drag in a person and improve their abilities. Their abilities start at, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But of course, to improve their abilities, you need stuff, which I don't have. So you need to go on quests to find stuff, to buy stuff, to improve stuff. You see what's going on here. One of the really cool things about Darkest Dungeon is the psychological aspect of it, which is very H.P. Lovecraft, very Call of Cthulhu, where a lot of the characters and stories didn't die, but they just went bonking mad, stark raving mad. So on a character, you will have positive quirks, negative quirks, and they have different pluses and minuses to their stats. And some of these things might not have negative or positive effect on their stats, but might cause them to interact with the environment when you don't tell them to. And when your characters do stuff that you don't tell them to do, people die. So this is why you don't want negative quirks. So you can have these medical wards, which are currently filled up with a couple of my characters, to retreat diseases, humours and other physical maladies. Or this part up here, which is about treating these psychological quirks, problematic behaviour. You start off with 1 cell each, but you can buy stuff to open up stuff, so you can treat stuff, but you need stuff to make all that stuff happen. There's a lot of stuff going on. Then of course, how do you get quirks? Well, because you're under a huge amount of stress. Each character starts off with 0 stress, but as they fight, walk through dark tunnels, dark corridors, and face hideous monsters, they get stressed out. And you can drag them in here to de-stress them, so that their stress level, which is up here, which goes from 0 to 200, goes down. I'm giving you the short version here. So apart from the Abbey, where you can de-stress by prayer and meditation, you can also go have some good old-fashioned fun at the tavern, where you can drink your cares away, the thrill of winning, or pleasures of the flesh. And I think one of the most hilarious things I've got is that one of my priestesses has nymphomania. So there you go. Horses for courses. Which means that she can only gain stress relief by going to the brothel, and I can't put her in the gambling hall, I can't put her in the bar, I can't put her in the cloister or to prayer or the penance hall. But this is where the knife really goes into your back and twists. Even while you're de-stressing your character through the Abbey or through the tavern, you may pick up, there's a very small percentage chance, a dice roll if you will, that you might pick up a negative quirk. Like if you're gambling, you might become a compulsive gambler and just lose randomly 1,000 gold crowns. Like, I don't know, I've only got 7, please don't lose 1,000 of it. Or in the meditation area, you might pick up a negative quirk called calm. How can calm be bad? Well, because you deal less damage, in combat, or you move slower because you're really calm, man. Chill out. What's all the big deal? So they're attacking us and want to kill us. so even the places where you put people. Oh, and in the brothels you can pick up syphilis. I'm not judging here. Then you've got the nomad's wagon, where you can pick up trinkets for extortionate amount of money. Or you can go on quests and find them. Anyway, so man, the long waffles. This is why it takes me forever to get out into a quest. So now I need to pick a roster of 4, decide on which mission I'm going to do, choose my provisions, and get out there and get the job done. There's a lot to take in, and I love these little chat lines that are not chat up lines, but just chat lines that my characters come up with from time to time. They're called barks. If you're part of the Darkest Dungeon circle, apparently they're called barks. And there's an option to turn on or turn off barks. I like the chat. I knew this would not be easy, says the man who's in the disease treatment centre. Okay. So, complementary. We need people with complementary skills. So, I'm going to do. And so, ideally, what I want is 3 groups of 4 characters that I can kind of swap in and out. So, while one group is de-stressing, the other one is adventuring, and I've got the third one in reserve. So, let's see. Let's sort by class. Yep. So I'm just checking everything is recorded, and I'm not just talking to myself, which would be bad. Just checking the chat channel. There you go. Just to make sure that it works. So, healer at the back. Brief overview of what the skills are. Certain skills can only be cast in certain positions. That's position 1, which is closest to the enemy. Position 4, which is furthest away from the enemy. So, if you imagine it, you would normally have your spellcasters and your healers in the back of the group. They walk in single file, just like normal warfare, obviously. And if you look at certain skill like this Divine Grace, it has the 2 golden dots in the positions where she can cast that ability from. So she can cast that ability from position 4, or she could, if she was in position 3, she can cast it, but she can't cast it in 2 or 1, which is why the 2 and 1 are empty. So not only is it about skills, it's about positioning within the group, and then that leads to some very interesting combinations. And it also means that you can't have certain combination of characters because they all want to be in the same spot. God damn it, I hate you. Why is life so hard? It's good fun. I'm like, for example, case in point, I really want my Houndmaster in position 3 so he can cast this Cry Havoc, which reduces people's stress. I can't have him in 4 because this person wants to be in 4, but if I put her in 2, then there's certain abilities she can't cast. She can cast that. She cannot cast that. She can cast that. Can. I don't have Mace Bash. Like some skills you have to open up. Four. This could go horribly Pete Tong. It really could, but enough with the procrastination. I wish I had Bellow. Apparently Bellow's good. Let's get Bellow. Defend. Apparently defend's good. Bolster. That's only 1 per. Crush. Retribution. Command. Bash. Bash. I mean, look at that. I mean, look at that wall of text. And then you've got this wall of text for like 7 skills for 1 character, and then you got 4 characters. So that's 27 walls of. This is why it's so difficult to get on with this game. But I love it. I love it to pieces. And then you add in all these quirks and about locking in quirks or getting bad quirks locked in. And I never know exactly how much to take on these things. Can't even remember if I'm doing a medium or long or whatever. And I'm doing this one because, well, it was Deeds earlier. I'm sure it was Deeds yesterday when I was looking. So we've got Kill One Within the Hag, which I believe is a baddie, not as in a mini boss. Maybe I should do something a bit easier. Yeah, that looks like it's a big boss battle. Let's do this one. Medium, which means that we need to camp once. Camping. What's camping, you say? One thing at a time. Potent Salve. A terribly strong concoction to counter the effects of disease and infection. So apparently on this quest, and I've never, ever done one of these quests before. I've never seen that icon before, so this will be fun. You have to go through the quest and you'll find a corpse or something, and you need to click on the corpse, stick this in it, and it's uninfected. Torchlight, and I think it's 12. I'm going to say 16. Just being a safe side. 2 of them I need. If I'm camping, then I need to feast, which is 8. I think I need a lot. I think I need like 20. Oh, I've got 22. There you go. And then obviously this is all. I started off with 7,000, so you have to weigh up how much money am I going to make from this quest compared to how much I'm paying to just make this quest work, and then the quest fails, and all of a sudden you all out of money. And I've got a full inventory here, and I've got no space for treasure. And people are screaming at the screen like, why are you taking bandages? Why are you taking medicinal herbs? Why are you taking so much food? Why aren't you taking enough torches? This is why I'm really bad at this game. Please see the preamble at the beginning of this video. I love it. Love it to pieces. Like I said, if you're here for hello. Girls. Or maybe I forgot, I've completely lost my train of thought. Yeah, if you're here for hints and tips, go elsewhere. If you're here for a laugh to see how badly I do this, stick around.
Excise the fungal tumors, and the land may yet live.
That guy's voice is amazing. So... oh, see, this is... I haven't played this for ages either, so I can't even remember how to play it properly. No! In a trap already.
Carelessness will find no clemency in this place.
Okay, so the red line, that's your health. That's pretty straightforward. We all know what a health bar looks like. The dots underneath is stress. You notice that these have got are not complete white squares, they're hollow squares. They've got a bit of black in the middle. So if you go all the way up, that's 100, at which point you'll get a some kind of test to find out whether or not you get a negative quirk or positive quirk. And then if you get stressed out by the next 100, where each dot fills in completely white, then you'll have a heart attack and potentially die. Who has the best trap skill? Not you. 30, 50. Yeah, the Houndsmaster. Oh, and by the way, you can rename all the characters, and you can change the colours as well, which is really cool. So if anyone wants to chirp in and suggest a name for a character, yeah, I'm perfectly happy to do that. You get curios. Beast carcass. I'm really bad at this game, so every time I come across a curio, I will be checking online to find out, is this curio good or bad, and what item do I need to use in order to not die horribly with spiky things in my head. Beast carcass. Something has recently mutilated this creature. The curio can only appear along corridors. Oh, with the medicinal herbs, I get 2 food from it. But if I interact with it without the medicinal herbs, then I've got a 42% chance of 1 food, 9% chance of disease, 19% chance of 9% chance of rabies, joy, rapture. 19% chance of some random disease, 14% chance of some negative quirk, 14% chance of nothing. So basically, if I'm really stuck for food, I'm thinking I would use 2 medicinal herbs if I had them to burn to get 2 food. 2 food is 4 points of health. It's not huge. So at this point in time, I think I'm just going to ignore it and move on. Light level. The brighter it is, the better it is for your heroes, but the less treasure and goodies you find, and the worse it is for the enemies. If it's in pitch blackness, it's very bad for your heroes in terms of dodging, scouting, monster surprise, your abilities, but it's very good in terms of the gold you find, or the cool trinkets or experience you find. How that works, I don't know. How do you find more treasure in the dark than you do in the bright light? Who knows? Welcome to Darkest Dungeon. Ay caramba. So this is a random. So I'm reading up to. This is not a Skyrim. This is not a Witcher. So I really am taking this laissez-faire. So a fungal scratcher. You could probably get some ointment for that, mate. Fungal scratcher. Right, kill the people at the back is what I've heard is a good thing. Because it's not the health that gets you, although that does get you. It's the stress that gets you. Your character's dying from horrible, nasty quirks, which are hugely expensive to get rid of, and so your character becomes a retching, weeping, sobbing, fetal position person in the corner. Too sorry. So, the general rule of thumb, from what I've heard, is kill the people at the back, then kill the people in the front, and leave the mission with maximum health and no stress. That's what you're going for. To leave the battle healthier and less stressful than you started it. I'm not sure what to use. I've heard good things about Bellow. Let's use Bellow. Eldritch Push. See, that's really bad because that moves your character out of position, which means that certain skills that she could use, she couldn't use anymore, except in this case, she's really good at the back. And that's, some people might be screaming at the screen, well, that's the position that you should be in for your character. And they would be right for like 99.9% of the time, except I really want my Houndmaster in position 3 so I can cast this Cry Havoc, which I can only cast in positions 3 and 4. Which I can't cast now, and can't de-stress people. Hound Rush is probably a very, very, very... Oh, I should not have taken Mark Target. For reasons which, for a random one-off game, I'm not going to go into. And I shouldn't have taken Lick Wounds. Which, for reasons, because it's a random one-off game, I'm not going to go into. So, I do have the choice of moving her forward to get her back into position, but I'm thinking maybe I'll just try and kill these and then do the movement out of combat. Dazzling Light. Yeah. Stun. Stuns are very, very good. Plague Doctor. Now, one thing I have picked up from watching a lot of guides is a lot of people might go in for the blinding gas to kind of blind the two at the back, but the whole purpose of the combat is to give them at least as many turns as possible. So it's better to get the blight or the bleed on them first before you get on the stun, because then that ticking down of their health starts sooner rather than later. Just check what their blight resistance is, which is down here. I can't move my mouse, but it basically says blight 20%, they're resistant. Oh, right, new turn, and the Plague Doctor, who's super quick, goes first. 7, so Plague Doctor's speed is 7, he's 6, mana I'm 3, Vestal 4. The healer is 4. Sometimes you really want a fast healer. If your guy is on death's door, which is what they call when you get to 0 health, you want your healer to go first, because if the guy who's on death's door goes first, he has to make a check to see whether or not he dies or not, and if he fails that, he dies. So that's why you want a healer who's got really high speed, so she acts and heals the guy before he has his turn, by which point he's off death's door and he didn't have to make a roll to see if he dies or not. Blinding gas this time. 2 stuns. Then we've got more stunnage going on here. How's the health? She's 1 point down. He's 2. He's okay. Maybe stun one at the front.
Slowly, gently. This is how a life is taken.
Oh, and a nice crit. And when you get crits, you get stress relief. So crits are very good. Groping Strike. So at this point, what I'm trying to do is, I mean, if the combat ended now, I would be happy because I got minimum stress and pretty much full health. But ideally what you want to try and do is kind of juggle the last guy while you get maximum health and 0 stress. So Bellow really slows them down, apparently dodges balls are not worth worrying about. I think I need to soften up someone. The standard, hit them on the head. So let's get a noxious on them.
Masterfully executed.
So, even though I hit him for 1 point, that was a critical 1 point, which means I reduced stress. That's awesome. So what have you got? Stun resist, and you're being debuffed. 5 damage for 5 rounds. So you're basically dead. So well, I could kill him quicker. I don't really want him to last for 5 rounds. But if we kill that one, then there's some game mechanic where they might get reinforcements, or you might get stressed because you're taking too long to kill a guy. But if he's got a damage over time that will kill him, apparently that mechanism doesn't trigger. So stun, picking on the one at the back.
The way is lit. The path is clear. You require only the strength to follow it.
I should have used our heal. Ouch. So 1 damage per 2 rounds. He got 1 down. He's dead next round. Blight, bleed, and 1 heal. Oh, we'll get a heal going there. So she's up to full health. Now I really want to do this de-stress thing. That probably wasn't the smartest move.
A death by inches.
So he's dead in that's 15 points over 3 turns. He's only got 8 health points remaining. So really this is all about de-stressing. Random. I really want the Vestal to be there. It's like a Rubik's Cube, but I want him to be at the back and she at the front. And he resisted both. That's her action, just moving. Just stick a random guard on there. I really just want to do stress recovery. So stress -3, and there's 68% chance of that happening. Alright, okay, it seems to be for the entire party. The entire party have 68% chance of recovering the stress. And you can upgrade his ability, or all their abilities in fact. So instead of 3 stress healed, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 52. Funnily enough, the Plague Doctor is not a healer character primarily. He's a damage dealer. She's a damage dealer.
The slow death. Unforeseen. Unforgiving.
I've got too much stuff to get star. Well, the dark braces can just go in there so I don't lose them. 8% crit if torch is below 26. No, I'm keep my torch nice and 100. Thank you very much. Plus 5 dodge. That's neither here or there. Oh, that's just a bad thing. That is just a bad thing that deserves being sold as soon as I get half a chance. See, this is the problem. I've got a full inventory and I'm going to have to just leave gems. Tiny wee little gems. I just don't have space on them for me. Thought if I did it quick enough I could confuse the game, but no. Well, that sucks and blows. I could dump the gold. It's a trap! I should have dumped the gold. Moving on, moving on. Let's sort my order out here. Yep, we're all good. We're all happy here.
Ambushed by foul inventions.
Oh, give it. See, this is what annoys me as well. I've got this ability, this battlefield medicine that can heal blight and bleed. He's blighted. I would like to heal it now. No, you can only heal him if you're in a battle. But I don't want to heal him while he's still in the battle. I would like to heal him now. Sigh. It's an old tree. What's an old tree do when it's in... This tree has a huge hole in the trunk. Perhaps there's something inside. This reminds me of the scene from Flash Gordon, where Timothy Dalton is the prince, and you've got that tree stump, and you have to stick your hand all the way in, and there's a creature inside that's like a scorpion that is going to like kill you. But first there's madness, and then you know, then the horrible, agonizing death. Anyway, anti-venom will get me 3 loot, but if I don't use the anti-venom, I've got a 50% chance of any 2 loot, 25% of blight, and a 25% of nothing. So, anti-venom it is then, it seems. Stuff! Which I have no space for. Blight charm. 22% blight resist. We'll have some of that. Definitely want my deeds. I'll leave my 100 gold, which is less valuable than 2 deeds. How big is this map? Why won't it let me go down? Oh, there we go. 1, 2, 3, room 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I've just checked that everything is recording. That sounded terrible over the mic, I apologise. Scouting is awesome, apparently. I didn't know, but apparently it is. You get to see the battles where they are. Why is that so far away? Where we go? Curio, obstacle, quest location. Well, let's go to the quest location. Keep your eye open for traps. It's a trap. Click on that will improve my light. We're doing radiant. So even just walking down the darkened corridor gives your character stress and more stress.
Nature herself, a victim to the spreading corruption.
Yeah, if you
formed with misintent.
I love that narrator. Yes, this is why you take the shovels because otherwise you would get massive stress from trying to clear that by hand. So I've got one shovel left. Oh, this is a quirk, negative quirk. So I haven't told him to do anything, but he's jumped right in there, which in certain curios could lead to very bad things happening, like he gets a disease, he gets another negative quirk, he gets stress, he gets health damage. In this case we get nothing but good stuff. Finally something to smile about. So what would have done that? Curious, that's his quirk. Obsessed with the acquisition of knowledge. And you need to use the sanitarium with the electroshock treatment to cure him of his evil and bad ways.
The light, the promise of safety.
Ah, that's one of those things, apparently. So, more fungal scratches and some fungal artillery. So let's just bellow them. So they're all really slow now, which is great, which generally means that the good guys will act first. Now the problem with Mark, now this ability does 70% more damage against the target, which is Mark. That sounds great. But if I just attack this guy twice, I get 100% of damage each time. If I spend one turn to mark him, I mark him, but that's 0 damage, and then I spend the next attack to do 170. So instead of 100% damage and 100% damage, which is 200% damage, I do a mark, which is 0% damage, and then an attack which is 170. So I'm still 30% at a loss. So this is where the efficiency of Mark is a bad thing. If that said 100 plus 100% damage, then at least in 2 actions you would have recouped your losses. Marks last for 3, not 3 turns, but 3 actions of that creature, which can be faster than 3 turns in some cases, apparently. Obviously, if I had 4 Hound Masters, one of them's attack, and the rest of them just pile on him, that's fantastic. And that's a legitimate strategy, just having 4 of the same characters that kind of complement themselves. The only downside of that is that they don't have the ability to heal each other, only themselves. And if you're on Death Door, you do the Death Door check first before you get your action to heal yourself, so you could die before you get the action to lick your wounds. That's what she said. Anyway, for shits and giggles, despite the fact how I said it was like really inefficient, let's stick it on there. So he's got a mark. So any characters that attack marked characters are going to be going for him.
A singular strike.
You are damned. Sorry, but in a girl's voice. You are damned.
Devastating blow.
Loving these crits. Even though they've got a massive bleed with this, still threw it on them. This is why I'm really bad, because I took a Plague Doctor into the code. There you go. Hand of Light, what does that do? Oh, your health is down. Heal. Oh, and a crit heal.
Is a rarity in the fevered pitch of battle.
Right, okay. Now we've got the mark against this guy. And there you go. He only had 6 health left. So my normal attack would have killed him. The fact that I did 170% damage on my attack. Whoop-de-doo. I still only needed 6 to kill him, not 11. This is why I'm so bad at it. Plague grenade. So that's 4 per turn, that's 12. Or I can heal someone for 1 or 2. That doesn't really seem... Can I? Let's try and blind them. Stun. Happy, very happy with that stun. Let's hit someone on the head. Apparently the front 2 can only hit the front 2 and the back 2 can only hit the back 2. Apparently that's, you know, that's the thing. I didn't realise that. So after they've been stunned, they get a stun resist, which means that you can't stun lock them, which is fair enough. What's your blight resist? 60. Ah. Let's give it a shot. Oh, and got the blight as well. Plague Doctor for the win. Mixing up those concoctions. Yeah, the marked one is dead. Kill the one at the back. So dead. But in 2 rounds. That still gives them 2 rounds to, you know, cause me a lot of problems. Let's slow everyone down again. Heal, heal, heal. I'm loving all these crit heals. This is awesome. Oh, that health looks low. Don't like that. Because of that mark on it, I bet they've got the ability to like just hurt people with mark. Rend the marked. Yeah. A double blight, 10 per turn. You're so gone. Let's stun you. Yes, gets a stun. Hounds rush. That one. I've got something that hits round 3. Yay!
The formation is broken. Maintain the offensive.
Groping swipe. Ow! And when they get a crit, then you start getting stress, which is not good. Now this person's already dead. He's taken 10 damage per turn. So really it's all about, at this point, recovering my healing and my stress. And killing this last one off. Picked the wrong skill there. So he's dead. How much damage would that? How much damage could that possibly do? 6 to 10. If it's at 100% damage, but it's not. It's at 90%. Just clobber him.
Great is the weapon that cuts on its own.
So 1 health left. Wait! More stress healing. 17, 17, 6. More healing for you. I would love to get my Vestal to do some more healing, please. Because this guy's dead. This guy's dead.
Continue the onslaught. Destroy them.
Oh. Apparently you can't stack more than 60 in a slot. But if I can just do that to that guy, then I'll have a free slot. Really first. I mean, it's just there on the ground. I could just interact with this fungal corpse, stick in one of these massive potent salves, and then, you know, pick up some deed. That'd be great. Thank you very much. Okay. Heal, heal, heal. I must use dog biscuits. Must use dog biscuits. I'm gonna let all this goodie go to waste because I just do not have the space. I hate this game. I love this game so much. Chomp, chomp, chomp. That I can't eat anymore because I'm full. But of course I don't want to eat too much food because once I have to camp, then I want to ideally feast. But the whole point in common questing is to get stuff. I'm gonna lose the bandages. I'm not sure which is more valuable, 750 gold or 2D. I'm thinking 2Ds are more valuable. See, now I've got a free slot. Where's those jewels? Where's those jewels gone? I don't understand. Where have they gone? Oh, and another scout. So something tells me the quest locations are not in here. Unless I could possibly have scouted the corridors and not what's in the room. I am not sure. That's been an hour 5 minutes already, people. I think I'm going to leave it there for today's episode. Hope you've enjoyed it. I know I have. Darkest Dungeon is a great game. If you haven't played it, I highly recommend it. It's a very steep learning curve. You will You will die. You have to deal with it. Quests have to be filled. Abandoned heroes have to die. You will make mistakes. Just suck it up. With every Darkest Dungeon 2nd edition, you get a picture of a bridge, a pack of cards, a cup with a lid, and a straw. And with the picture of the bridge, you have to get over it. With the pack of cards, you have to deal with it. With the straw, you have to suck it up. And I forget what the last one was. Anyway, so until next episode, take care of yourself, and bye for now. Bye-bye.